All right, welcome in, boys. We are live. Take it to the bank, Martinsville. Coop's on vacation. Everybody knows. Meyer's here with me. We're in more than capable hands. What's going on, Adam Meyer?
Just looking to fill some mighty big shoes from the old Coop. Actually, you might say flip-flops. You know, the guy with some blown-out flip-flops.
You might say flip flop, as in one. Yeah, I haven't heard from Coop. Hopefully, he's enjoying the vacation. My guy, my dear friend. All right, what happened last weekend? Where were we?
The greatest race of the year at Homestead. Tyler Reddick from the Raptors with one of the craziest passes you'll see in a next-gen car.
Oh, right.
Buried my Blaney ticket. Blaney said, let me just take the low side of the track and you can go ahead and take this win from me.
Right. So, yeah, another win. I think we've hit every race in the last 6 weeks, pretty much. Eckes got it done tonight. What number did we get on him? Do you remember Reddick last week? I have to go back and look.
I think it was there was like a 7-1. I can't remember what the actual number was. 7-6, something like that. Was there a 9 in there? I don't even recall.
Did I not put him? Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so we hit him a couple times basically at like plus 350 and once at plus 908. But unfortunately, the mix and bet never got home, which is fucking wild. But yeah, we made money. It was a good race. Could have been better.
It was honestly a great call from their crew chief to do what they did. He was basically drawing dead, right? Needed the late caution, got the late caution.
Yep.
Brought him into a spot where he could get the win. You know, you got to do a Hail Mary. Otherwise, he was probably looking on the outside, looking in, going into tomorrow's or Sunday's race. So, great call by the crew chief.
Now we head into Martinsville. Last race before the final race of the year. 2 guys are in right now. Logano's in. Tyler Reddick's in. Barring a catastrophe, Chris Bell is probably in. And then it's going to leave one spot open for the rest. Hopefully Larson could get it done for us. We got that big ticket. Blaney's live. Elliott's super live. A lot of guys are live.
Yeah, and you know, who knows what strategy's going to do here? Who knows what the tire's going to do here? It's a do or die for a lot of cars. So this could be a fun race.
Yeah. All right. So the big news that we have to talk about, the reason why you and I won't be highly invested in the race going into the race is because they're going to have an extremely soft tire. And you said that it's going to be softer than the tires that fell apart 30 laps into the run at Bristol, which they were basically failing 35 laps into the run. That it could make for a gigantic shit show. We might be 25 laps into a run and tires are just falling off the car. Who knows why they decided to do this? The race before the last 2 guys get into the chip is beyond me. I guess they wanted chaos, but yeah, I mean,
well, I think it just speaks volumes to where we're at in short track racing in 2024, right? Like we are sending Hail Marys the race for the last race of the year on an unknown tire with all these playoff implications, right? It seems like a major swing and miss from NASCAR that we're going to do something this drastic going into what could be the final race for some of these guys.
And that's what happens when it's been follow the leader all year on short tracks, but for one race probably, right? That first Bristol race. So
Yeah, and the one unknown, right, is like, so no one, I've never seen anybody come out and say why the tire failed at Bristol. Was it the cold? Was it the compound? Was it the combination of the two? You know, looking back at the Martinsville race of October of last year, it was warm. I think it was unseasonably warm for that race. This is going to be into the 60s, I think, during green flag. So could be a little colder than they expect. So what happens here? I don't know. It'll be it's one of those things like Denny said. So softest tire NASCAR has ever brought to a next gen race. What does that do? He said the right side tire he thinks is the right tire, the correct tire. But you know, he said that with the softness of this tire could fill in the pores of the racetrack and the tires could not matter after half the races ran, right? Fills in the track stops taking rubber, the tire fall off, this becomes less. So I don't even know how you get comfortable with when do you make a bet in this race?
I mean, Denny would know better than we would, but I don't know, man. Like, I have a hard time seeing shit getting better 3/4 of the way through the race. Like, it could get a little better once rubber gets down, but anytime I remember where it's been a total shit show because of tires, it didn't get better. It was just a shit show throughout the entire race. So I don't know. He knows better than I do, though.
Yep. So, like you said, you don't really know how to set this car up, right? Everybody's going to set the car up different. Whether you think there's crazy fall off, not a lot of fall off, or you're making adjustments mid race trying to predict the fall off. So, we could see a lot of things. The only thing that I would say is like, what do you think we see in terms of passing? If the tires don't fall off like we think, are you going to see any passing? Is it going to be like the truck race we saw tonight?
Right. Yeah, that's possible for sure, especially in this new car.
And looking back at the Martinsville race from last year, people were able to run that middle groove. So there was a little bit of passing on the outside, but you had to have a really good car to do it.
how would you rate the manufacturers going in?
Well, I think it's hard, but I think I would put Hendrick first or Chevy first. Like your gut would say Toyota, right? Where do you land? I guess I would say Chevy.
I would say Hendrick, and then everybody else is kind of where I'm at. Like, I know that Denny and Marty are good here, but based on what we've seen from Hendrick in the next gen car, I'd be interested to know if they run better in the fall than they do.
You know who's really good at the fall in the fall?
Because they ran 1, 2, 3 in the fall last year. I mean, this year
They qualified
earlier. Earlier this year, they finished 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, what was the Toyota owners for?
Byron won the race. Larson finished second. Elliott finished third. Bubba finished fourth. Blaney 5.
Oh yeah, I was on the wrong race. Hold on.
Blaney won in the fall, which Fords tend to run better in the cold or at night anyway. What time?
Yeah,
what time?
Fords
What
were
was
good
the
last
temperature at the end
60s.
last year?
Oh, at the end of the race, that I don't know. I just remember them saying it was warm.
It doesn't matter. He was up there all race anyway. Then he finished third. Eric Almirola actually showed up. How about that?
Yeah, there's just so much win equity wrapped up between Larson, Byron, and Elliott, right?
Yes.
Like, who do you
Mason.
think is going to be the weakest of those three?
My gut would say Byron. My gut would say Byron, probably. I would rate Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott ahead of Byron. But, I mean, Byron won here earlier in the year, so who knows?
Yeah, I think I would agree. I think Byron, but Byron's just kind of missed lately. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, but I feel like hasn't he, I bet you like 5 of the last 6 weeks I read something where like he's been running like his best run of the year has been the last 5 to 6 weeks. Is that true?
Let me take a look. So, like the 2020, so the spring race here, speed ranking, actually has Chase Elliott across the board. He was third fastest in every segment.
Yeah.
And then Larson he was second in the first segment and then fourth the rest of the way. And then Byron's car
Byron.
actually got faster as he went forward, the longer the
Yeah,
race went.
in segment 3 and 4, yeah. Denny was good. I don't know what happened in that last segment.
Let's see where. So Byron actually has finished. So let's go back. So actually, kind of wrong. So Byron has actually finished going backwards: sixth, fourth, third, and second.
That's really good though. I mean,
Yeah,
he had his worst in the last 6 races is 6th once.
yeah. Homestead, Vegas, Roval, Talladega, Kansas.
Yeah,
Going
so
backwards.
he's trending in the right direction for sure right now. That makes it a tougher call.
Yeah, want to look at Chase because I remember being on Chase a couple times. Like Chase had a car he was driving forward. He just seems to be caught up in the mess because he's not qualifying well.
He's been really good on short tracks too.
Yeah.
And then like
So
if tire wear is a real thing, Denny and Marty could just show up at any time.
yep, that's my one reservation. But I think I was talking to you earlier in the week. Like, would you believe me if, like, obviously now, but that Denny has not won in Martinsville since 2015?
That's wild. Considering his entire fucking garage is full of grandfather clocks. That's crazy.
Yeah. So Chase Elliott going over that same span of races, he has a fifth, 33rd, fifth, 29th, and a ninth, and then second at Bristol. If you go back 6 races.
Yeah, he's going to be. I mean, and you would say by a mile, his best format this year has been short tracks. I
Yeah.
mean,
So
he's been
Martinsville
lights out.
won. Martinsville won. He started third, ended third, led 64. At Iowa, if you think it's a comp at all, started ninth, finished third. Second Bristol race, he started 10th, finished second. So, yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be a player for sure. Just how do you think Hendrick handles these 3 cars all being pretty much must wins to keep going?
Uh, they're going to handle it. Nobody's going to get preferential treatment. I'll tell you that.
Right. And we've seen it before between Larson and Chase, where they're not afraid to move each other for a win. So I guess if you just looking at the outright market, FanDuel has 5-1 on Denny, 5-1 on Larson, and then 550 on Blaney. Do you think those numbers are right? Would you change anything?
I think that those numbers are wrong on Elliott and Byron. But I mean, where are you going to put them when you've got the other guys at 450 and 6-1?
Yeah, I mean Chase at 850 and Byron at 10-1.
There's probably a little value on Elliott and Byron. Yeah, I'm looking at Bet365. Hold on, let me pull up FanDuel. Yeah, I mean, honestly, 5-1 is fair for Kyle Larson too. Denny,
Yeah.
I mean, Denny hasn't won a race in 5 months. Eat a dick. I'm not paying 5-1.
But like his last wins, right?
What?
Like his last win though, right?
What?
Wasn't it here?
Considering he hasn't won a race since 2015.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, hold on. But where did he won? Where'd he finish? Go back to his races.
I'm going to
Because
say
he won
it
2
wasn't
races at
here.
the beginning of the year. He won at Bristol, and then Richmond, and then Dover.
I mean, he could win, but 5-1 is, I just can't pay that anymore.
Yeah, you're going to give him the Ty Gibbs treatment. You got to see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the number's probably fair on Blaney too. But like, what number did you get on Blaney early?
750.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's where he still should be. Because
You don't give him any preference over Denny and Larson?
No, not over Kyle Larson. No. Not at this track. I would say that if Kyle Larson is 5-1, he should be 750. Feels right to me. That number is wrong on Denny. It's just out of respect. They don't know what to do with him. They just don't want to get hurt by him. They just keep fucking putting him there. I'll tell you what, bro. Chris Bell, like, I know that what happens if he runs 28th and Elliott and Larson finish the race 1-2? He's out, right?
Well, he's 20. What is he? He's 29 to the good right now. He'd have to not finish a stage or not get stage points at all. Because Larson's -7, Denny's -18. Like Chase can't get in without a win. Byron's +7.
Based on the speed that Chris Bell showed here in April, that's a possibility.
How aggressive do you think that their plan is for this race, knowing they probably just need to finish?
But like, is finishing good enough if they don't get stage points and Larson wins, or Elliott wins and Larson finishes second?
I don't. I'd have to think about that math. I don't know what the scenario would be for where Bell would have to finish in those stages to make that happen.
Because based on speed, I'd be concerned, man.
Yeah, I'm not. Like I said, I think you can just kind of throw Bell out of this race, right? I mean, are you going to bet him at 13-1?
I'm just thinking for the chip. Like, I'm just thinking, no, I think he's dead. I don't think he has a fucking prayer to win this race. And he might be bad. He could be bad. And if that's the case, I'm just thinking, like, do I have to bet him? I think I could wait to bet him. The problem
Yeah, I think
is,
you would use him as an ultimate hedge.
What is his number, though? With how good he's going to be next week, what do you think that they drop his championship odds to if he makes it?
So would you think that he is going to be He's going to have worse odds than Blaney at Phoenix.
I think it's going to be real close between him, Larson, if he makes it. I think they're all going to be real. All those were the four. If we end up with, well, actually, you could throw Logano out. I'm not worried about him. I don't think. Which means, oh, and Reddick's in already. Like, if you told me that the final four was Larson, Bell, and the other two, or Larson, Blaney, and the other two, I think all four of those guys that could have won the chip last year were the four best cars in that race by a mile. So I don't know how differently you can price Larson from Bell, from Blaney, from Reddick. Or like, I know like three of the four could make it, but I think you have to respect them all. Maybe because what Bell's done this year, you would probably make him the favorite. But Blaney and Reddick or Larson and Reddick would not be far behind, I don't think. Bell
Yeah, I would agree.
Bell probably should be the favorite if he makes it.
Well, that's why I think he's plus 340. He has the same odds as Logano for the championship right now, and he's not in.
Right.
Because if you look at Blaney and Hamlin and Elliott, their numbers are crazy. But Ryan at iFantasy Race says at Phoenix in the next gen, Blaney has the best next gen speed ranking, the best average finish, and the best driver rating, and he's 5 for 5 at finishing in the top 5. No other driver is 5 for 5 at even finishing in the top 10.
Yeah. So, but I still think that they'll price Bell based off what he's done on the year ahead of him. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you're betting Blaney to win this race, I think you have to bet his championship ticket too if you don't have one. Because that 25 to 1, what do you think it goes to if he wins? 3 to 1?
Here's the problem. I think he has to win the race. Like, he has to win the race. If, let's say Bell gets in and we're just going to put him in.
Yeah, Blaney 100% has to win this race to be in.
Yeah, like I think him, Larson, and Elliott might all have to win the race to get in. It's going to be fucking madness, bro. If they're all up there at the end, it's going to be fucking madness.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, you honestly don't know. Like, if 3 of these guys are in the top 5, and God forbid, if Logano's up there, this is what makes me like Blaney even more. Because Logano's good at Martinsville, right?
Yes.
He's going to be a blocker for Blaney 100% to get that car in. And who's to say, like, it's just not chaos if they run in the top 5?
He could be. Everything you and I are talking about is the reason why, like, I'm not betting any fucking props, I don't think, in this race at all. Because, first of all, I hate betting with an unknown variable, and those tires are a complete unknown variable. So right there, it kind of makes me want to limit exposure to a maximum, right? Or to a minimum, I should say. So I'm not betting props. And anybody that's watching this show should not want to bet props. With all the chaos, this is the final race to get into the championship on a new tire that we have no idea what it's going to do. You should not be betting any props in this race at all. And like in terms of the outright market, I think if you want to take a shot on somebody that you have a feeling on that you think is going to be up there and you like Adam took the shot on Blaney, I'm okay with that. Like, even if you want to take 2 shots, if you want to get 2 of Blaney, Elliott, Larson, and Byron, I'm okay with that. But that's it, man. That's
So if
it.
you're taking two, I know you're not going to be exposed to maybe anything before this race starts, but if you're going to take two people, because people tune into this show because they like your takes. You're a smart guy. You're a NASCAR aficionado, live
I
and
barely
pre.
care.
Where
I
would
barely-
you rank these guys going into this?
I would say I would rank them Chase Elliott, number 1. Kyle Larson 2, Byron 3, Blaney 4. That's probably how I would rank the 4.
So just cruising around the books, what's available to me, it appears that 850 is the best number I see right now at Chase. So taking the numbers into account, you would put, if you were betting this pre, you would put an Elliott ticket in your pocket.
Yeah, I might put an Elliott ticket in my pocket. I just can't, like, I know Denny could really fuck us up, but, like, show me. Fuck me up.
Yeah, the one thing that, Denny always comes in with is, like, we've seen him this year try to play the strategy game when his car's not good. With this tire, he could play all the strategy games he knows, right?
Plus, Elliott's got another reason why I really like Hendrick this week. If they're going down, like let's be real, bro. They might go down pit road. If the tire is a shit show, they might go down pit road 12 times in this race. Literally.
True.
Hendrick Motorsports has the first, second, and third best pit crew, and it's everybody else.
What about Carson Hocevar's crew?
Stop. And then like Denny, he's only got to speed one time out of the 12 times he goes down, and then he's dead.
Yeah, he hasn't had the best luck.
I'd be interested to know what Ryan Blaney's pit crew has done. Can you check that?
Don't you have that at J-Ski? I was looking up how many cautions we had at this race earlier this year.
I was talking about Ryan. I'll check it.
So the October 23 race, we had 12 lead changes. What's the number of cautions? We had 5 cautions last year for Rex in the October race.
Elliott is the best pit crew in the game. Larson's the second. Byron's the third. Ryan Blaney is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, basically 6.
We had 5 cautions last year, October race, and we had 2 cautions in the spring race. But you make a good. So where would you rank the number 1 pit stall for this? Is it everything with track position? Is going to be everything here?
It's going to be important. Yeah. I mean, again, if you told me that we were going to see what we saw tonight, yeah, it's everything. If you told me that tires are going to be falling apart and people are going to be getting passed, not so much. I don't know. I don't know. I'll tell you what, though, you want the 3 best pit crews on your side in that race if they're going down. How many sets of tires do we know that they're getting? 10, probably 10 or 11 at a minimum. Probably with a shit ton of extra tires on the side. If they have to start giving them out again.
On the side, what is this? Fucking Applebee's?
Well, I mean, they were on the side in that Bristol race, my guy. They started fucking flying out of the fucking trailer.
10 sets, my guy. 10
Yeah,
sets. They get
so
4 for Xfinity and 4 for trucks, and we're bringing 10 sets to
okay, so
the Cup
all
race.
right, so that 10 is not going to be 10. I guarantee you, they're taking them out of the fucking trailer. Guarantee.
Yeah, but they had extra tires there from the previous race at Bristol from the year before, I think last year. Like they didn't just bring extra tires on the truck for that, right?
Yeah, but I
That
mean,
was not a planned event.
but what happens, like, if it's truly the softest tire they've ever brought to a racetrack, they have to be prepared.
And
in
it's
the
just
event.
left sides. The right side tires are different too. Or the right side tires are tires they've used before. The left side tire is this complete new tire. It just doesn't make you feel like just because I have such a horrific memory of that Bristol race and what it did to those tires, I don't know what to think of this race.
Right. It's so many unknowns. So I don't know how I'm going to bet the race. I'll probably go in with a guy or two though, and then just bet the race live after we figure out exactly how much fuckery is going to go down in this race.
Would you be interested if you could get the number on Hendrick to 5-1 and just be on Hendrick?
Yes. I think those 3 guys have probably 3 of the 5 best chances to win the race if everything's even.
So they're plus 155 on Caesars right now. First book I checked. What's it take to get that to 5?
Like minus 110 doubles it. So probably plus 150.
So if you took 2 team totals in NASCAR or in NFL.
Yeah, you probably get 5.
Like Penske by themselves is plus 420. Now, you just bet Blaney because I don't think Logano wins this race, but
Yeah, I mean, getting the number up on Hendrick is not a bad idea. That might be worth doing. That might be the only prop worth betting, though.
and there might be a better number out there. I'd tell you if you like, would you look at? There's got to be a better number than this, but would you be interested in the top Chevy and Chase Elliott, or it's just a crapshoot with trying to beat Larson and Blaney and Byron?
They could be running right there with them. I expect them to be running right there with them, to be honest. Again, barring a catastrophe.
Yeah, like, and you're not getting good numbers either because Larson's plus 125, Byron's 3-1, Chase is plus 325. Like, this is just not a great race to bet props. It's not a great race for groups because when you're in the middle of the field, like, you could easily just wreck.
I mean, ideally, bro, like if we can get the number up to like 10-1 on Hendrick, and then that's all you have to bet in the race if you can get it home. Because
what are you betting to get that there?
You could just bet Blaney, Hamlin if they're coming. You got to take some shots. What time is the race on Sunday?
I think it's 2:03 Eastern Standard Time. Actually, it's going to be daylight savings. So 2:03.
2:03. So that race will be about halfway over when the 1 o'clock slate is done. So yeah, you got to use the 1 o'clock slate.
Can you get? Do they have alternate team totals at Caesars? Because like, what if you could take like Atlanta over 23.5 and who else do you think is just gonna smash?
I don't want to touch the Green Bay game because there's going to be rain. I think both the teams could get up and over that team total if there's not rain. But the rain
Like
concerns me.
Atlanta team total in Baltimore, or maybe we take the Commanders team total. Bills.
I don't know. I got to look into it.
Yeah, but the minimum on there is Hendrick 5-1, right? But
Yeah.
ideally, I mean, you want it to get. I mean, 10's going to do some. You're going to have to take some shots.
Gonna have to take some shots. But it's not a bad idea. But I'll probably attempt to get the number up on Hendrick and then bet one or two guys of those four, and that will probably be it going into the race. And then we'll just live bet the race. I'm not touching any props.
Yeah, so you're not interested in top 10s, groups, any of
Nope.
that. Would you? So first time I've seen it this year. We're just going to run through these quick because it's the first time I've seen them. But there's team specials at ESPN. You can get Larson to finish in the top 5 and Byron top 10 plus 155. I mean, barring an accident, how do they not get there?
But like, they could easily cut a tire and hit the wall, and that's dead. It's just not worth it. Not without knowing what's going to happen with the tire.
And it kind of to that same point, the same thing we just saw in the truck race, right? Like Taylor Gray winning that race if they race clean. And because of the situation, Eckes is going to run the guy up the track 100 times, and that guy's going to get out of the groove, can't get back down. You blink on the last lap, you lose 6 spots.
Exactly.
So throw all that aside, qualifying. Any interest for anybody to win the pole tomorrow? Larson's your favorite at 325.
Who were in the front 2 rows in April?
Let me go back. The front 2 rows. Larson was on the pole, Bubba second, Chase third, Marty fourth.
What about the last race in 2023?
I think that was wasn't that the Gibbs, the Toyota 123 right out of the door?
Marty, Gibbs.
I think it was Marty, Gibbs, and then Bubba or Denny.
Briscoe qualified 3rd and 4th in the last 2 races.
Yep, sorry. That was the third. But Denny was 4th. So yeah. I did bet Chase Briscoe top 10. Just because he's just the top 10 machine here. But that was the other one play I bet.
What's he to get the pole?
9-1.
Fuck you, Caesars.
Well, they're 750. You might get better numbers at 365. And check BR too.
Nothing at
Larson did not lead a lap here in the fall race last year.
Nothing on either.
Really?
What time is qualifying?
Cup qualifying at 2:05. Cup practice at 1. 45 minutes. And that 45 minutes is probably going to be because of that new tire.
Eastern?
Yes. NBC Sports app too. Not on TV. So 1 o'clock tomorrow practice, 2:05 qualifying. The 45 minutes of practice definitely has to be because of the new tire.
If I was betting qualifying, I would take a shot on Briscoe and Bubba.
Briscoe at 9-1, Bubba 11-1.
Yeah. Could easily go down, but at those prices, could be worth the sprink.
Yeah, what's want to find his Larson at Martinsville. He's had 2 poles at Martinsville.
I mean, you could always bet him as a hedge on him.
He started first in 2021 and actually in 2021, 2022, and 2024. So
To be, if I was betting a third guy, it will probably be Marty.
I think Marty has something to say here.
At 12, 11, and 9 is not bad. I mean, you could use Larson as a hedge.
Yeah.
Like, based on the last couple years, they're definitely live for sure. But, Larson or Elliott could put you in the fucking ground, but they're live.
Right. Yeah, it's just tough. It's tough to kind of pick a pole winner here. Like,
Those
has Chase went out and put his car on a pole this year at any of these short tracks?
I think he has. I could be wrong, but I want to say he started from the pole in a short track this year.
Yeah, I'm looking at this year. Let's see what he's done. He has no poles in 24.
Those numbers are wrong on Briscoe, Bubba, and Marty. They shouldn't be that high.
Yeah, they're priced like just with all the playoff guys. But Briscoe could definitely go out there and get the pole, and he's been in there. The one that concerns me would be like Ty Gibbs put it in second last year.
Yeah, but he did not look good earlier this year.
Yeah, I'm probably not in a big rush to bet this market. If you find a way on Hendrick at 7-1 to 10-1 range,
I might take a shot, Meyer. Those numbers are
like
wrong.
a little AJ Brown 100 plus, Justin Jefferson 100 plus.
That'll do it.
Yeah, well, let me just see what that would. This is just going to be at Caesars, just real quick, just to kind of get a baseline of what that number will be. I'll pull those. AJ Brown, 100 plus. see what.
Elliott started third here in the spring.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good. I'm with you. It's just tough to fade Larson at short track, especially after what he did in Bristol. That wasn't even a race.
I enjoyed that race.
Yeah, I told the entire wedding party, "You're welcome." All right, Justin Jefferson 100 plus, AJ Brown 100 plus, and Hendrick wins the race 15-1.
I hope AJ Brown is playing. I bet fucking $4,000 on him.
Yeah, that would be a bad beat. 15-1 is the number.
That's not bad. Which means like you could probably take them both to get 80. And I bet you're close to 10, right?
Yeah, I can swap the numbers out quick. Hold on. $80 plus on AJ Brown. That changes the numbers drastically. That gives you 6-1.
What about JJ at 90 and Brown at 80?
JJ. That gets you to 744.
Jesus. So you probably got to go 90-90.
Yeah.
That's
So,
not bad. That's not terrible, though.
yeah, unless you go the team total route or you want to go, you have to add a bunch of legs, right? If you want to keep the legs down, it's probably going to be the route you got to go.
Yeah, I might take a couple shots.
90 plus on both gets you to 990. 10-1.
That's not bad.
Now, again, this is just at Caesars. It could be better, other places to shop around.
All right, boys. So you know where we're at. We'll probably try to get the number up on Hendrick, and I'll probably take one or two of Byron, Larson, Elliott, and Blaney and go in with that. Check the notifications. It'll be in Discord for you guys. And that's it. And look for qualifying because I might get involved. So be sure to check qualifying. All right, we're out. We'll see you guys in the morning. Ray will be with Dan at 11. We'll be live around 3:30 all night long, like we do, trying to get you paid. So we'll see you tomorrow. We're out. Later.
Later.